All right, YouTube Nation. Jack desires to give a shout out to you.
Campbell Psycho's here next to me. Good guy. Love you guys.
Wow, that was epic. You get a lot of plays from that one. So we do have 4 people gone today, so hopefully this video will help them get caught up. The first question, I don't care if you do what we call the box method or if you do FOIL. I would just like to forget both ideas altogether, and here's what we do. You take each term of the first one and multiply it by each term of the second one. Yep, complicated distribution. I like that idea. Our result is 2x cubed minus 6x squared plus x minus 3, which is letter C. Most common result for the second one is simply to square 3x, get 9x squared, and square 2y, get 4y squared, for people to circle B right away. That's incorrect. To square something means to take it and multiply it by itself. When you multiply that out, you get 9x squared minus 12xy plus 4y squared. Hi there. So, our goal today is to perform operations on polynomials. We will add, we'll subtract, we'll multiply, and we will divide. We'll do those 4 things. The very first one says add or subtract the following. If you have addition, you simply can drop the parentheses and combine like terms. So, as I glance at this, I'm going to combine the largest degrees first. Negative 9z squared and 2z squared make negative 7z squared. I have 3z and negative 4z makes negative 1z. And I have 2 and 8, which makes 10. Try to write it from largest degree to lowest degree. Addition's easy. What's different about the second one? So what do I have to do with the subtraction? Yeah, you're going to distribute the subtraction sign through. And so you change the sign on everything. So it becomes g squared plus 10g minus 4. So the first part stays the same. But the second part, when we distribute the subtraction sign, I was not familiar with this. You had an old high school. What was your old high school? Fergus Falls, you guys used to do Iron Man? Okay, you should start it. Yep, start it. Start tradition. We do have a volleyball tournament in the middle of February, right? It's not the same though. So start it. Check. All right, we distribute the subtraction sign. G squared and 4g squared make 5g squared. 10g and 8g make 18g. And negative 4 and negative 6 make negative 10. We good with adding and subtracting? Okay, flip it over. And again, now we're multiplying. And when you multiply, you take each term of one and multiply by each term of the other. You maybe have heard FOIL before, but just think of it as Leslie said, complicated distribution. I like that idea. Negative 2x, then move on to the negative 4, negative 4x, and positive 8. Combine any like terms to get x squared minus 6x plus 8. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to try example 4, 5, 6, and 7 on your own. We'll do 8 together, but check with your partners to see how you're doing on 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Or 4, 5, 6, and 7, not 8. Okay, take a look at the board, those answers, see where you're at. Did I do them right or did I make a mistake? Okay, I would say that, again, this problem right here, this one's just a very, very frustrating one for me because, again, people write this is just 16x squared plus 25y squared. And so you can expect that, I guess you're going to see a problem like that on the test. And I really want you to be able to multiply it by itself to come up with, instead of 16x squared plus 25y squared, come up with what we have on the bottom. So what is example number 8? How is it different from the others? It's cubed. So if it's cubed, what do? I have to do it 3 times. Now, a lot of people get frustrated by that. They're like, well, that sounds like a lot of work. Surprisingly, it's really not too bad. And the reason why is you're really good at the first part. Let's try to do this first part. We'll multiply those two together. Let's try to do that real quick. X times x gives me, and then the 2x and the 2x will make 4x. And 2 times 2 is the 4. So now I've already completed the first step. So now we just multiply those together. X squared times x is x cubed. 4x times x is 4x squared. And 4 times x is 4x. I took all 3 and multiplied it by the first term. Now I'm going to take all 3 and multiply it by the next one. 2x squared, 8x, and 8. Should be some terms that I could combine together here. X cubed stands alone. Whoop. I like to cancel them off afterwards so I don't reuse them by accident. 6x squared would be the 4x squared and the 2x squared. 4x and the 8x make 12x. The last one's the 8. And that's our answer. Not too bad, huh? We'll show you in a second here, okay? All right, so this is where things fell apart during second hour, okay? So dividing polynomials, I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. The first way is going to be long division. The second way is going to be synthetic division. You have to know how to do both. As I do long division, I'm dividing by x minus 5, so x minus 5 goes out here. Underneath the division sign, x squared minus x minus 20. And now I begin. And here's what you ask yourself. This is where people get confused. They're like, well, where do I start? I had some of you guys for Algebra 2 last year, and you might remember this, but this is where we start. What do you multiply x by to get x squared? X. So therefore, the x goes right here above the other x's. I take the x and I multiply it back through. What's x times x? What's x times negative 5? And now I will subtract. What is x squared minus x squared? 0. But what is negative x minus negative 5x? Positive 4x. And you can see where a lot of people make that mistake. Now, since I have a binomial, meaning 2 parts, I'm going to drop down the negative 20, so I have 2 parts here. And we start the process again. What do you multiply x by to get 4x? 4. So I take the 4 and I multiply it through. What's 4 times x? And what's 4 times negative 5? When I subtract those, I get 0. So your answer is x plus 4. You kind of remember long division? Are we ready to redeem ourselves and do well on it this time? Would you like to see an easier option? Let's view the easier option. I can do what we call synthetic division. I'm dividing by x minus 1, and this is what I have to answer. What number would you plug in for x to make this 0? 1. That's the number that goes in the half box. Across the top, we place our coefficients. What coefficient do I have in front of x cubed? 1. What coefficient do I have in front of x squared? 0. There's no x squared. What coefficient do I have in front of x? 1. And then finally, a -2. I put another half box down here. That's always for my remainder. Do you remember how I start? Very good. I drop down this 1 right here. Leslie is correct. I multiply. 1 times 1 is 1, and then I add. Multiply, add. One times 1 here to get that one. 1 plus 1 is 2. Yep. Yep. 1 times 2 is 2. We add and get 0. So 0 is the remainder. So that means that this is my constant, this is my x, and this is my x squared. So I have 1x squared plus 1x plus 2. That's the result when I divide them. We're going to do one more together, and you're going to try one on your own. Colby's going to get it here, I promise. You're going to get it now, trust me. Colby, what number do you plug in to make this be 0? What number would you plug in for x to make this 0? 2. So 2 goes in the half box. What are my coefficients? The numbers in front of the variables. 1, -4, 1, and 6. Line with another half box for the remainder. What do I start with? Drop the 1. Then multiply. Add to get multiply, add, multiply, add. That's my constant. That's my x. That's my x squared. So I have 1x squared minus 2x minus 3. You try the last one on your own. Try the last one on your own, then I'll hand out your worksheet. All right, for anybody who's watching, I'm going to do this example right here. I put a -1 in the box because -1 is what gives me 0. I have 3, 0, because I have 0x squared for anybody who missed that, a 1 and a 4. My last half box is my remainder. 3, -3, -3, 3, 4, -4, and 0. So 3x squared minus 3x plus 4 is the result. You get started on your worksheet.